Hey guys, welcome to the plug for May of 2019. I thought I'd jump on, say hello to you all. I'm back here, obviously in Australia at the moment. Had a big trip over with all the recent stuff that's been going on, but it is time for the plug. And if you don't know what on earth the plug is, well, let me give you the update. So the plug, if you are a new subscriber to Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling and you've never seen the plug before, is basically once a month I like to get on here on YouTube, say good day to everyone, and give you guys an update as to how the business is going, where the business has been, and what's happened in the last month, and where we can expect Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling to go in the future. I like to work kind of 3 months ahead. That's about as much as I can normally handle. 3 months ahead is pretty much the limit. Jordan Davis getting impatient. Jordan, g'day. How are you? Everyone else? Sup, Daniel, Reflex Gaming, Harry Venables, Enviro. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, the plug. Here we are. So, it's been a big, I don't know, month and a bit, I think, since I did my last plug. Heaps has happened in the brand. Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling, we've got new content creators on board. We've got more and more travel being made possible because the funding behind the business is getting more and more solid. We had the bottom 8. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on. But look, first of all, to give you guys a snapshot, the most exciting development that's happened in the last month is, without a doubt, in terms of business development, is the introduction of Next Level Apparel. Next Level Apparel, we haven't seen anything, you haven't really seen anything come out on the channel yet from Next Level, but there's lots of good talks going on in the background, and we're working out exactly what's going to happen. But Next Level Apparel are on board with Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling, and you're going to see stuff from them soon. But most importantly, it means that Next Level Apparel is going to be supporting Pound for Pound and making our events even better than we've ever had before. So the most exciting thing that we're going to be spending money on and investing pound for pound revenue into in the next chapter, that is largely going to be in support of what we're doing with Next Level, is I'm building a studio. All right, guys, building a studio. Now, you might remember, like 2 or 3 months ago, I had the chance to sit down and present to Monster Energy. I was pitching for them to be a sponsor of Arm Fights Unleashed, which is, of course, the arm wrestling series that Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling coordinates. And I didn't get over the line with them. When I spoke to Monster Energy's marketing executive, she said to me that, look, your numbers are really good, but your production level not quite high enough for Monster Energy standards. So what that meant was that I've clearly got to lift my production level. So what you're going to see now, like all amazing businesses start in garages. If you guys didn't already know, I run a lot of the Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling show, and what I call my studio is in fact my garage, but we're going to turn that into something that looks as good as ESPN standard. So the main objective is that the digital product that comes out from Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling is going to look and feel as good as any ESPN standard production. So the types of productions that you can expect to come from Pound for Pound in the future. Okay, when it comes to tournaments, imagine a Cauldron style arena with good LCD screens in the background, many camera angles set up, sound engineers and all that sort of stuff put in place. It's going to look and feel as good as any sort of product that you would see on ESPN. Like WAL standard is what we're talking about. So anyone who's going to be featuring on Arm Fights Unleashed once we've built that studio is going to look $1 million. And we're going to then be able to get to a level where we can start talking again with Monster Energies and people like that. In terms of what else is going to happen, so not only a tournament's going to look amazing, but we're going to have a more regular show that looks and again reflects what every other professional sport has already in the sport. So imagine like let's say an Arm Fights Unleashed just coming up in a week's time. Then what will happen is I'll get a panel of experts in, and in that panel of experts we'll have like a round table or something like that in this studio again. Picture multiple camera angles, sound engineers, a producer standing behind who can say, oh look, Ryan's talking now, let's go to the Ryan camera. Oh, Lachlan Adair's talking now, let's go to the Lachlan camera. Oh, back to the wide angle camera. Oh, the Jordan Davis camera, etc, etc. So we're going to have a live show that will come out live streamed on YouTube, Facebook. That will be exactly that. It'll be kind of that. The goal is to have it look as good as any ESPN show, so that we can then talk to Monster Energies and all sorts of stuff. Now, guys, if you are unfamiliar with the overall objective of what I'm trying to do here on Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling, it's 100% to legitimize the sport. I want as many people in the world of arm wrestling to be able to call themselves arm wrestlers full time, to be able to, when their friends ask them, what do you do for a living? I want them to be able to say, hey, I'm an arm wrestler. So I know that we need people earning like 60 to 100K a year to be able to do that, to be able to have their travel and all that sort of stuff covered, and to be able to make that sort of money. So that's what my goal is for athletes. Obviously, to all the athletes here in Australia, that's a big advantage because you guys don't have to travel very far to be on Arm Fights Unleashed. But we're going to see more and more. Now, on that front, what can we expect? Well, after bottom 8, you guys have obviously seen a little bit of trash talking going on between some Australians and some Canadians. Of course, those Canadians like to think that Aussies can't arm wrestle, but we know now that we can, because there's still a bunch of arm wrestlers here in Australia that I can't beat. And obviously I took care of Evan, and that was very, very satisfying. But anyway, so there is something brewing in the background. I think there's a very good chance the same production team that brought you bottom 8, i.e. Devon, John, people like Jonathan Larber and Adam, I'm sure they'll be involved. But there's a very good chance that either late this year or maybe very first thing next year, we might see a particularly entertaining Australia v Canada super match card. But the Brisbane Heavy Hitters Club, come on, we all know, myself, Danny Tesh, Lachlan Adair, Jordan Davis, we would wipe the floor with whatever club that is led by Evan Burgoyne. But anyway, so that's kind of what's happening in terms of the direction. Now, to give you guys more updates, I know I like to normally give you guys stats and all that sort of stuff as well. We've got content creators. We've got 217 Films has come on in the last month. Brad Cook, he is so ridiculously talented with his editing skills. It's exciting. We're bringing more and more audiences in. We had our first video hit 5 million views on Facebook. Dalton Duncan, he is the superstar of that. The way that he performed in that video is a large factor, but we've hit our first 5 million views video, which is again bringing in more and more revenue for the business, which means we can pay more to everyone. What else? John Brzenk. John is, what can I say? Every time I go and hang out with John, John gets a little excited about the sport. He starts to get a little bit excited and think about dipping his toe back in the water again. Now, John's a hard one to get a read on whether he actually will or actually won't, but there is more than enough incentive in the pound for pound system that is coming that I think there is a good chance, I'm just going to leave it at that, there is a good chance that in the near future, John Brzenk will have something worth fighting for. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But something significant that John would do everything within his power to make sure he wins is potentially brewing. So, anyway, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, do it, because there's all this sort of stuff gets leaked on Instagram all the time. I give away all the things that I'm working on in terms of projects. But pound for pound arm wrestling, I know that I like to give you guys an update on the actual revenue. YouTube revenue, we had our best month whilst I was away in Canada. I got like $2,800 in YouTube revenue, which is just crazy awesome. That allows so much more to happen in terms of travel, pay for athletes to come to Arm Fights Unleashed. On Facebook, we had our best month that same month. We had like 3,800, I think it was, on Facebook that month. We're spending a lot of that money on marketing. A lot of that money that comes in gets spent on ads. So I can tell you that I take 4% of all of Pound for Pound's revenue goes to me personally, goes into my mortgage, and everything else goes back into the sport. So when I say it goes back into the sport, currently where I'm spending the money is on the bulk of it goes on ads. So before I was an arm wrestler, a lot of people like to know, ask me, what on earth did I do for a living? Um, Aside from being in the military for 7 years, when I got out of the military, I started running all these different businesses. And what the business just before going all in on arm wrestling was digital marketing. So I used to spend a lot of time helping local businesses in my area to sort out their advertising and through Facebook, Instagram, that sort of stuff. So I have a good feel of how to spend money well on ads on social media, and that's how ultimately we're getting to those 5 million views and all that sort of stuff. So, hey, I just realized somebody sent me a super chat, I think. Let me try to work out. Sorry if I'm just scrolling through. All right, super chat from Justin, Central Texas. You're the man, Justin. Let's read his comment. All right, Justin has said, you destroyed Evan. Please. Please let him go back to sweeping floors and don't mention him again. Too many people deserve to be mentioned by you, and he isn't one. Evan, yeah, look, I mean, Evan's a bad arm wrestler. And when I say bad, I mean good. He just won his Ontario state title, but he's one of those love to hate guys, like Jonathan Lava. A lot of people don't like Evan or Jonathan when they first see him, but the longer you know these guys, the better they are, and they really are good people and at the end of the day. So but thank you so much for that super chat, Justin, guys. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Justin. So let me have a look at some of these other questions. I forget my train of thought, where I was at, but yeah, so I remember, that's right. Spending money on the advertising is pretty much where we're at the moment. So I spend a lot of cash reinvesting into ads. So you might have seen sponsored ads, you might have seen different pieces going out, but where the benefit of that spending is, like, for instance, that video, that 5 million view video, I have audiences built in from Facebook that I know which people on the planet, well, I don't know them personally, but Facebook will provide me with an audience that I can target that has watched 95%, 75%, 50%, 25%, 10 seconds, 3 seconds. They're all the different categories that Facebook will give me for people that have watched those videos. So for instance, anyone who's watched 95% of the video of that Alabama video, you know that they're interested in arm wrestling. So when we create a new video, we'll push it in front of those people, and I have like an audience of like 600,000 people on a list that have watched 95% of that video. That's 600,000 people sat there for 10 minutes watching Dalton Duncan kick ass. So that's a lot of people that are pretty happy to sit down for at least a 10-minute period and watch that video. So it means that we can push new content in front of them to showcase the best of arm wrestling. So having new content creators coming on, like Brad Cook, like Jonathan Lava. Now, a lot of people, actually, I want to give people, if you might remember back like 2 plugs ago, I was telling you guys about the fact that I bought a bunch of cameras and gave them to different content creators. Travis Bajent was one of them. And everyone's been saying, where is Travis on his content? Now, I'm going to tell you something truthful about Travis. He's a big scaredy cat. At the end of the day, the man that we all know and see on the stage that has like persona and confidence and dominates that stage in terms of showmanship, he's a little scaredy cat when it comes to actual content creation. So he's still working on it. All right, I've given him the ultimatum on when he needs to get these videos starting to roll. Otherwise, I'm going to take the cameras back off him and give them to someone who has a little bit more confidence. But Travis, he's a big sook. He's a big scaredy cat. But either way, we do have a big event coming up. Me and Travis, we will be at the Talking Stick Hotel in Arizona on June 21st and 22nd. That is going to be my next event in the USA, and it's going to be a special one. It's going to be our first teams event. We have a lot of really good teams. Australia's sending a team. We'll have the NAL champs from last year sending a team. Travis himself with Storm Chelino and Luke Kint are in a team, so I'm told. I have confirmation from the Latvian team. They're coming and they're locked in, which is the lightweight is Janis Amelins, their middleweight is Raymond Lepens, and they have their national champion super heavyweight as well. He's going to be there. So there is some big names coming in. Now, I have no idea who else is going to throw together a team, but there's good prize money on. We have $10,000 prize money at that event being handed out across all the different weight categories and all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be pretty neat. And look, last year it was a party, so you're going to want to be there again. John Brzenk will be there without a doubt. When it comes to the Australian team, we got Lachlan Adair, myself, and Grant Tolentino that are going to be throwing down. I got Dallas Langston. I'm going to kick his backside. I got a lot of respect. First of all, I got a lot of respect for Dallas Langston. He beat Kenny Hughes. I give him that. Kenny's a bad man, and Dallas managed to beat him. I respect that fully. But once I get my high hook set, it's good night. So I'm going to have a quick look at some of these other comments. Michael Todd's making awesome content. Yeah, I see that from Reflex Game. Yeah, he is putting in a big effort. I want to go hang out with Michael Todd, get his opinion on a few different things, and just create some cool content. He's putting in a lot of effort into the sport, so I got a lot of time for him. G'day to everyone in Germany there. Thank you, Marcus. So next level is the big thing that's coming. You're going to see a really big increase in production quality in pound for pound. We're going to have the studio built at my place, in my garage, but you'll never know it. If you see the digital product, you will never know that is where we are. It'll look amazing. Like I said, the goal is to have that ESPN standard. That is, I'm just trying to rack up all the points in my head about where we're going. We got the Canada-Australia thing that is brewing. We got the June 21st Arizona thing. Have I missed anything on what's coming? I don't think so. I think I got everything covered. So that's kind of where we're going. If you guys want to ask me any questions, now's the time. You can shoot them through to me now. Thanks. I'm just looking at some comments here. Talking about mic setups and YouTubes. Yeah, live videos are tricky. I have great cameras for post editing, but I don't have the equipment to really make live videos super spectacular. It's something I want to change. So, Arm Fights 5.0. Jordan Davis, thank you for reminding. Yes, for everyone who's in Brisbane, of course we have Arm Fights 5.0, which is just on June 8th. So that is really close. Arm Fights 5.0. It's going to have a single elimination amateur tournament, open weight division. It's going to have pro 70, 80, 95, and open weight. And I think Jordan Davis from Australia plans to clean up the whole lot. I think we got Pepe Penzetti from Brazil is going to be there. When is my WAL debut? Mean Dean asked me. Well, I don't know. I don't know where my WAL debut is going to be. I'm keen. I'm definitely keen. I've been talking to a few people though, and I can't tell you anything, but I think that my WAL debut will happen. I just don't know when. Let's just say that I think it will happen. I can't tell you anything. I want to be able to tell you more, but I can't. But yeah, WAL and me, yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. And when it does, oh man, my right arm is feeling so good. My forearm is just getting so strong. It's crazy. But there's a whole bunch of people that I want to take on in WAL. But I think that for my first match, if I was to get one, they'd give me someone solid, but not someone top tier. But anyway, let's worry about that when that happens. I think that I'll probably end up on a podcast with Neil sometime soon. So I'm seeing a few different questions here about WAL, Matt Mask, all that sort of stuff. Take this opportunity now, guys, to ask me questions about the business, pound for pound. We can talk about arm wrestling anytime, but once a month we talk about the business, where pound for pound's going, and what you can expect, how we're trying to go down that mission of actually making the sport known by everyone around the world. So ask me some business related questions and I'll answer them. Yeah. Justin, Central Texas, how do you avoid brachialis pain? Look up, I did a video, like one of the very first videos I ever created was called Arm Wrestling Pain and Rehab. Search that on YouTube. I bailed out on the match with Adam Laura the other day because my arm was throbbing. I was so beat up from my trip overseas. When I finished bottom 8, I then went to John's place, and you can't not arm wrestle when you're at John's place. And my arm has been in the hurt, like I've been holding ice on it. And when I gripped up with Adam Laura, it was just going to be like an exhibition match. It wasn't actually a legitimate match. I was so sore. I said to him, dude, I can't. You're gonna have to pretend. Adam Laura is big, strong right now. So thankfully Danny Tesh turned up at the last moment and he took care of it for me. Alright. Main event cards for 5.0. Jordan. There was yourself, Jordan. You've got the opportunity to be on there. Mickey Lonsarevich may be a match for you, but Mickey's availability for that weekend is up in the air. But big Marcus Satirai. You guys might have heard Devon Larratt talk about Marcus Satirai. When Devon gripped Marcus, he was super excited about this guy, saying that Marcus is stronger than any other amateur he's ever gripped. And Marcus is Australia's super heavyweight mixed martial arts champion. He's 155 kilograms lean, which is like, what, 350 pounds lean. He's a striker. So he's explosive. He may be on a main event card. We may throw him in against one of the Brisbane super heavyweights. Or if Big Matt from New Zealand is brave enough to come over, he might get him as well. What were my thoughts on the interview responses with WAF? Well, to give you some context, this afternoon, Kirill from the Mazarenko organization and the ERPA side of things. I've actually got an interview with him, a phone interview with him, because I want to hear both sides of the story. And I just honestly hope that we can sort ourselves out as a sport. We don't need that. We don't need that division. Will I work with Devon again soon to promote an event? Yes. Definitely will be working more with Devon. Devon's such a cool dude. He's got so much time and energy for the sport that we tend to really align really well, and I really enjoy all my time hanging out with Devon. I think that the more time that I hang out with Devon, the bigger and the better, and the more value we will be able to give back to the arm wrestling community. And aside from that, it's just a hell of a lot of fun too. So yes, definitely do some more stuff with Devon. Am I going to be at the South Australian state titles? I won't be. No, I'll be up here organising everything that's going on, so I won't be down there for that one. And what can we do to help pound for pound? Come to Georgia. Georgia. Isn't that Ron Barth's neck of the wood? I mean, one of the cool things, and I just saw the name Juji Mufu, don't let me forget. The cool thing is, as pound for pound arm wrestling grows, guys, there is more and more revenue coming in. There's more and more opportunity to travel, more and more opportunity to pay for flights for different athletes to increase the quality of main event cards on Arm Fights Unleashed. So it's getting bigger and better. So what you can do to help us get to Georgia, it's the same as anything. Just honestly, guys, the sharing of pound for pound arm wrestling content, that's the number one thing right now. Sharing as far and as wide. We need more videos hitting that 5 million view mark, so pick your favorite tournament video and hit share on it for me, and maybe like once a month hit share on it or whatever. But sharing really does make a massive thing. Go and follow us on Instagram as well. Help us grow that there. I actually met with the director of from the film industry last week, and we're putting together a pitch to apply for a $400,000 grant to put together a feature-length film. So that's kind of how seriously I'm taking it. I'm putting a lot of energy in. So, and that director was very adamant that social media impact was going to play a big part on whether we can get applications like that over the line. Now, if we were to get an application like that over the line and we had $400,000 worth of funding to put together a feature film, you can only imagine what would happen from it. Now, when I say feature film, we're not talking fiction, we're talking like documentary, real life film based around a particular match. So if I had $400,000 to spend on a match, who would I spend it on? I wonder. Can't tell you yet, but you can guess. Do likes earn me more money? No, likes don't earn money. What earns money is views. Views and ads that basically exposures of ads. So last month we had 1.4 million views on YouTube across the whole platform. 1.4 million views. Thank you, Chris Waterman, for the $2 super chat. You are the man. Thank you. Really makes a difference. There you go. There's an example right there of how we can make a difference. That, Chris, goes straight into the sport of arm wrestling. We'll spend that wisely. Thank you so much, Chris. Will I come to Washington? Yeah, look, I've actually been to Washington already. When I did my East Coast tour with Travis. Travis lives in West Virginia. I flew into Washington. He picked me up. I didn't actually put on an event there, but he did. We did drive through Washington. I saw the, what do you call that thing? The big statue thing sticking out of the lake where Forrest Gump and his missus hugged each other. Anyway, I saw that. I drove past that, but I didn't actually stop and do anything in Washington. So I haven't been to Florida yet, though. I can see Iron Street TV asking that one. Look, Florida is a pretty cool place. All right, Gino, what are you commenting? Gino's one of my regulars on this channel. He's always at me about bringing on Jeff Hale. So let's see what Gino's saying. All right. Here we go again. What about the American Bulls that put the sport on the map? What about the American Bulls that provide us with the most exciting matches? WAL. All right, Gino. I know your favorite man. I know your favorite man. He's pulling against Sam Harris, and I think Sam's gonna win. Sorry, but I do. Look, there are Gino. There are so many people that have made arm wrestling what it is. I think that at the tip of the spear is John Brzenk. I think that Devon is at the tip of the spear as well. I think there are a lot of guys just a couple of tiers down that put a lot of energy into the sport. Travis Bagent, Neil Pickup, and then another step down, people like Jeff Hale. Yeah, Jeff Hale has created a character and has done so well in such a long time. And without all those people, the sport wouldn't be what it is. I'm with you 100%. But the thing about Gina, when it comes to creating content around all these different people, that's where more funding is needed, because ultimately we all live a long way away, and Australia is a long way away from everywhere. So like for me to get a flight to the US, it's like $1,500 Australian, which is like $1,200, $1,000 US to get there. And then that's just to get to one location. Then there's the domestic travel in the US as well. So it's tricky. But the good news is, Gina, we are on the upward trend. The revenue in pound for pound arm wrestling is increasing significantly. And as a result of that, we're going to get bigger and better investments coming forward. So will I continue to work with John Brzenk? Absolutely. Siren Drums. John is a huge part of pound for pound arm wrestling. He was one of the major reasons that the channel took off in the first place, and I'm eternally grateful to that man for his time and energy. John has never allowed me to pay him a cent. I've tried lots of times. I keep on going to pay him, and he won't let me give him any money. So that tells you a little bit about the character that John Brzenk is. He says, look, just reinvest it. Everything that you were going to pay me, reinvest into the business and the sport. So John is a good man, not only as a human, but obviously as an arm wrestler and as a business person. He's been instrumental to helping pound for pound. So the door will always be open for John. John is actually one of my big motivators and for the business. I want to grow the business to a point where John can stop working for Delta Airlines and start working for the sport of arm wrestling and earn just as much money as he does at Delta, this time being an expert analyst and arm wrestler. So, yes, John is most definitely involved. All right, what else we got? My dad says you'll peel me like a banana. Ah, there you go. Hoffman. Baby boy Hoffman. Is that John Hoffman? I don't know. Anyway, lots of people calling me out since I beat Evan. Alright. Yeah. Alright, Hoffman. Anyway, guys, I might leave it there. That's the plug for this month. It's been a really, really good month. One of the funny things for me is when I travel and people ask me what do I do for a living. It's been tricky. It's hard to answer that question with a straightforward answer. When I go through customs, and they say, "What do you do for work?" They get a little nervous because my hesitation to give them like a straight up answer is normally like a red flag for them or something. But anyway, we're working on that, and we are definitely at the point where I can confidently say that arm wrestling promoter is what I say my living is when I do go through the borders. But anyway, if they question me, I have to start bringing up YouTube channels and all that sort of stuff. So it's good fun. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and to all the guys who did the super chats, thank you so much. I can see we got 17 Australian dollars from this live. That was really cool. So, guys, all those things make a big difference to the brand and to the business. And I'm going to see you guys real soon over in the US at Scottsdale at the Talking Stick Hotel on Friday, June 21st and June 22nd. Be there for the team's event. It's going to be amazing. All right, guys, take care. Now to work out.